Hi everyone, back again. I was going to show you the city I built, the future city that I built through this door, but unfortunately I used one of the city templates, like one of the template toy boxes that they offer, and city one, because I figured that I'd make the city template, so at least have a template, and then gradually replace all the buildings with all these futuristic type buildings. And it was pretty awesome. I had a light cycle going, and people attacked you at night, and townspeople will come out during the day, and it was like a whole city and everything, and it was brilliant. It was probably one of my better things that I've done. But I went back today, did a little bit more drywalling in the house in the country back there, came over here through the door, and it turned back into just a regular city again, like their template, but a different one. I tried everything to try and get it back, and it just kept on giving me this template every time, different in random order for some reason. So do not use the templates if you're going to do anything substantial. So like, don't use a template to be able to start something and then change it all up and then try to save it and whatnot through a door, because if you go through the door, eventually it'll just glitch out, I guess, and put it back to the template. So I basically went in here and attached a brand new one, erased the old one, and made it into just a regular empty toy box. These ones don't seem to glitch out and mess up because it's an empty toy box, right? So, well, I hope not anyways. But we're working on this afternoon a little bit after work or whatever, and I got the roads laid out in a few spots where I'm going to put the buildings and whatnot. That's about it so far. I got the door going back. This used to be a massive city, before it got deleted and turned into the template, so I deleted it, the template that is, and started making my own template. So we'll take a look anyways. I got some work to do still yet. See, I got the sidewalks and some roads going on, and then the concrete to put the buildings on. Let's go away, I'll show you the whole layout of what the city's going to be anyways. And I'll put on more videos updating the progress of this. Hopefully I can make it as big as I had it before, because I figured you use the template, it's already got a bunch of stuff in it, you start gradually replacing it with new stuff, and overall you don't end up using as much memory, I guess. You can get more in there, I guess. That's what my first thought was, and then it took it all away and left me with nothing. Well, the old city, it would give you like a modern day city, like one of their city templates. Hence that's why I used it. But it's gone now, and I deleted the template that was there because I've had enough of these templates. So I was making my own from scratch. I ended up just going with the big flat terrain pieces here, these ones here, large flat terrain block, right? And I went 3 across and 3 over, so, and I filled that in, and put these road intersections on the corners. They were right on the corners of each block, right, for the corners. And in the middle, it's aligned with the side of the block, and then halfway in between the other blocks, in order to make them perfectly square. There's a little bit of messing around, but luckily, since I'm making this almost the same as their template, except for I put the corner pieces on, obviously, so it's all connected together. Use less road pieces this way, because in between it's only one of these pieces, and then one of these pieces in between each one, both ways, right? So, and then you just fill that in with your sidewalk. I use these here to do the corners. They're in the farming building set 4 with the farming equipment and whatnot. And you go with the sidewalk pieces around here, obviously. And these, they do the corners, because the stupid corner ones that they had just weren't cutting it. I noticed that in their template too, like these ones here. don't work out. Like in the template they look like that without that concrete being there. I guess I could have went like this with the concrete there as well, but it doesn't look the same. I do that. And for your corner pieces, what I've done is one of those concrete pieces from the farm category, and then 1, 2, 3 of these, and then a corner piece, and that's how long those go out. And they come out, and they almost perfectly match some of these two you have to put in, but it's all symmetrical, it's all the same. So it's not you get some weird freaking block at the end that's all like one of the building plots aren't the same, or one of the corners is larger than the other. It's exactly the same. So I'm going to use this and fill it in with my sidewalks and the concrete there, and replace the ground underneath so it lines up with the road afterwards. And I get some trees and buildings with some street lights and cars and flying things and all that type of jazz, and the light cycle going on again. And the way I do my light cycle is I don't do some of the crazy things that other people do in the tutorials. I just use the path creator, right? It'll work for me. There we go. And you go out one, up one, out one, over one, right? One, up one again, and just make a circle and put one of these babies on it. And loop it. Yeah, I think you turn the thing off before you attach things to it. Then you don't have to worry about anything. It'll still move and everything, and you can do all your things to it or whatever. But you attach this to it. Obviously, the locator doesn't move anyways, but the same with everything else. If you have the thing inactive, just don't forget to turn it back on later. And then you get your sky changer. And then when when object on path hits one of these things, say this is morning, and put it in your morning sky. Alright, and then this one will be your afternoon, this will be your night, in which I use pitch black, this will be twilight again for your morning, and this will be like your daytime, like later on morning. This is when the people would come out, this is when people would go back into their homes, this is when the big bell would chime 3 times, and then when it goes pitch black, and then it'd be a timer, and it goes chimes 3 times with the big bell or whatever, and then 3 seconds later I'd have a bunch of symbiotes come out all over the city, and then like a few seconds after that, then I'd have a few clone troopers come out, and they'd be on and they'd put you on their team, and there'd be like 5 of them and 15 of the symbiotes out there. And you just fight as long as and you survive the night, and then by the time that this comes, they all disappear. Well, the symbiotes disappear, the clone troopers will stick around a bit longer until like the timer goes out, and then they're off again. Right? And when the enemy was defeated, I'd have the announcer saying that the enemy's defeated for now, and things like that, right? So I'm not ready to do this stage just yet, but I'll get to it later. I just thought I'd show you that anyways, and let you know that I did have a giant thing to show you guys. It was epic. And also in that thing, when morning hit, when it hit the green dot, the thing on the path, I'd have it so then on the recorder, it would play back all the people in the town, and they'd be walking around the street and everything. It was pretty cool. But I'm going to try and recreate it the best I can, and hopefully I can show you guys again later on what it was supposed to look like. But this is the layout of what it had, but it's all new. I just did this, obviously. So instead we'll go and I'll show you something else I've been working on. It's in the backwoods there behind the house in the bushes. Just decided to fill that castle up, or fill that toy box up with a castle, the rest of it with a castle, and fix my swamp battle thing so it's kind of working properly now. And got rid of some logic I didn't need and did it in a different way. So yeah, this toy box takes a while to load. Well, it's not as long as some of the ones that I've seen, but it is fairly long because it's pretty well full just about. Gotta do the rest of the drywalling in the house, and fill in the top floors with some more drywalling, and then I'll delete the pieces in between the walls because I'm just using them for spacing, the extra house pieces, and that'll free up some space for later. Once this hurries up and loads here and builds it, we'll head over to the house and I'll give you a peek and let you see what I've been doing. But most of the time I've been going into that city that got copied over or deleted or rejected or whatever happened there. Again, don't use the templates. If you're gonna make something, well, I'm sure if you use the templates right off the hop, but if you connect another toy box through the door and you use a template in that toy box through the door, it'll be all fine and dandy for a while, but eventually it will record back over it with the template. So don't use templates. Use empty toy boxes every time. Unless you enjoy making stuff that's almost done and then it disappears, and by all means go nuts. But I wouldn't recommend it. So we'll take the shuttle back to the terminal. I haven't done a whole lot at the terminal. Just kind of an area at the moment. City in the background. Then a bit of texturing and stuff like that. The country. I'm sure if you watch my other videos, you'd recognize some of this stuff. Still a work in progress. Fleshing it out as I go. Got like basically the frame of it done, so most of things anyways. It's gonna be a massive world at some point with a bunch of stuff connected to it, and it'll go in a big full circle eventually. Go around, like you'll be in the city, and then the city will take you somewhere else in the city, and then it'll take you to, say, the backwoods or the farm in a different way, and then you can come back around or whatever. And there's that person on the tracks again. Weird. Yeah, see it here, it's all stone and whatnot. Yeah, and I figured out a new kind of trick actually. Well, it's not really a new trick, it's combining tricks into one trick. So, I'll kind of run you through it in a second. Let's go through the front door. Now, as you can notice, I have the corners done with the drywall. You can't overlap these just naturally. You have to do a trick to do it. And I decided not to use the path creator because then I have path creators everywhere. So what I did is I used the recorder, okay, and I recorded me putting down this one, say, and that one up there, and then I'd make them disappear in order to put these ones in, right? So they disappeared, and then you put those in, these ones here, that one and this top one, and then you'd replay it and you'd expect these ones to come back, right? But they won't. So what you do is you take your trigger area and you put it there, touching at least this whole area, okay? And then you play it back, and it'll allow these to break the collision. You can do that with a lot of other things. So if you're using a recorder and it won't play back or anything, just put a trigger area in that area and then play it back and it'll come back. And if that doesn't work, then get the opposite, both things that you're trying to do on two recorders, set them both up to a button or a timer or something, and have them both come at the same time. And if that's not working, throw in the triggering area as well, and it's guaranteed it'll work. I have my little fireplace here. I guess we'll show you this. Wish that turns off. Go downstairs, turns back on. Got these things merged together. Not bad. Little basement, I guess. Just kind of framed it out a little bit. Interesting. What is that? Oh, it's just the outside of the world. Little secret spot behind the thing. I'm gonna make it so then if you run into the fire it'll burn you, obviously. But I got the doors framed in as well. I got a little bit up here done. I think this is done. It's getting there. The doors framed in. Got a lot more to do. Okay. So these doors framed in. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the white on it, right?